central part of New York State, in Syracuse, New York, and Lake Onondaga. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Boyer, and as you can tell, we got a problem here on the lake. It is very windy, and compounding that problem is the fact that the weather conditions are changing almost by the hour. Now, Jim Hendrick is down with defending world champion Jim Kropfeld to talk about these conditions we'll have to deal with today.
Well, Don, as you say, wind is a factor. In fact, the chief referee, Lee Shadeth, has just called a 30-minute delay for the start of this race. Jim Kropfeld and Miss Budweiser not open. You have a controlled environment. You don't notice the wind in there, so you kind of have to read the water.
That's true. You really don't. Being enclosed in the Budweiser, like you said, is it's a little different than sitting outside there. You don't feel the wind coming from the sides or whatever it may be doing. So I have to look for flags on the beach or on the shore, and especially up here on the cranes, there's some flags that I can watch. The wind really whips up the water, especially down here in turns 3 and 4.
Weather conditions always change back east. It's unlike the Western Hemisphere, where we were a couple of races ago for like Tri-Cities and Seattle. And now the defending champion has his old boat that won here last year. He's not in a controlled environment. Let's go down to Don Poyer in the Miller American. Don?
Jim, as a matter of fact, this is the boat that Chip won in last year here in Syracuse, and it's back again. Why go with this boat instead of the newer one you've had all year?
Well, we broke what we call the spar, and the spar is the member that runs in front of the boat between the sponsons that keeps the sponsons together. The boat's been taking a lot of beating all year and finally fatigued and broke, so we needed to bring this boat.
And as Jim mentioned earlier, as you're now out with the elements, is it like coming back to an old friend?
Yeah, at first, the first lap was a little unnerving. All of a sudden, I felt my head getting blown around and all of that. But after a lap, then it's right. It came just like being back with an old friend again.
With the old friendship, has the old confidence come back with it?
Well, the boat's been fun to drive all week. The problem is it's not been quick, and we've been slow. And right now, we're just not all that competitive. We're going to try some more things, and hopefully by the final heat, we'll be competitive.
Well, have fun today.
Thanks, Don.
All right. Now, Jim's got the rundown for Heat 1A.
All right, Don, 9 boats reported to Cap 8 have qualified, and it'll be 4 and 4. 4 in Heat 1A, 4 in Heat 1B, 4 turbines, and 4 reciprocal engines. That's the way the field splits up. Now let's look at 1A. The U7 Jackpot Garrett Turbo, driven by Cherry Hop, and checked in at 102.5. Ron Snyder in the Holset Miss Madison, 116.7. Todd Yarlin in the Kwik Phil Thriller at 117.8. And the only turbine in the field for this particular heat, 1A, is Mr. Pringles, driven by Scott Pierce at 125.8. Now, 1B, Don, you have a little bit of competition, I believe.
Jim, you're absolutely right. 3 of the top 4 qualifiers are in Heat 1B, that field of 4. Let's take a look. First of all, out of the state of Washington, Mitch Evans driving Pepsi America's Choice, the U15. Then George Woods, the rookie in 1987, driving Oh Boy, Oberto. Chip Hanauer driving again in that older boat in the Miller American, the host boat for this race. And finally, the defending national champion, Jim Kropfeld, and the Miss Budweiser, the U1 at better than 145 miles per hour. So there's your lineup for Heats 1A and 1B. It's a windy, gusty day on Lake Onondaga, but racing is coming up. Stay with us. Cues. We have now just been put on another hold, so we're an hour late. Let's get a word from Commissioner Don Jones.
Well, certainly right now the weather is not improving any. It's going like the Weather Bureau said it was. It's blowing in gusts 25 to 35 miles an hour on a half of our course. There are 2-foot rowers along with 6-foot intervals, so it's not really very good. But right now what is happening is that Jim Kropfeld and Chip Hanauer are going to go out into a patrol boat and look at the water from a first-hand view. At that time, then we'll reassess what might be done in the way of an abbreviated race, or at this time, just continue on with our wait and go on hold.
Well, this enables us to look back at some of the unforgettable moments in this 5-year-old race, like a preliminary heat in 1985. Coming out of that south turn, which can be a problem at times with wind and choppy water, are the boats, and they're all very early. You will see the starting line in a moment. On the way inside is the boy Oberto with Jerry Hop, Executone telephones, and then the 7-Eleven with Steve Reynolds here, as you see. You saw the starting line and you heard the gun. A good start by everybody, especially the man on the right of your screen, Jerry Hop in the Boy Oberto Beef Jerky, qualifying at 108 miles per hour. He's in first place and holding on to lane number 1. Executone telephone second, and the 7-Eleven with Steve Reynolds in third place. Around the north turn, 7-Eleven has gone dead in the water down in the north turn. More problems for that turbine-powered boat. Reynolds waving that he's all right. But anyway, let's go back to the race. Oh, boy, Oberto's still in first place with Jerry Hopp. One of the slower qualifiers, but running very well. Executive telephones on the left of your screen. That's the Kenny Toyota Volvo on the right. Look out, the boat's going to flip. The Kenny Toyota Volvo has flipped going down the back chute. Leif Borgeson, the driver. It looks like the boat has landed right side up. Let's locate the driver. There he is on the left of the boat, Leif Borgeson. The race has been stopped. The flares have been shot. As you see the red flag, the boats will return immediately to the pit. The executive telephone going back. Yes, the boat has landed right side up. The wing is virtually gone. The cockpit is gone. The rescue boat is now in place to pick up Leif Borgeson. We have no idea his condition at this point, and we will try to update you as soon as possible. Let's go back and try to get a better idea of what happened. Kenny Toyota Volvo on the right of the screen, behind the rooster tail of the executone telephones. The right sponson goes up into the air, and then that huge mass of air under the boat flips it over. They call it a blowover in unlimited hydroplane racing. The boat lands literally on its back and then bounces, landing upright where it came to rest. The driver, Leif Borgeson, 39 years old, making his return to unlimited hydroplane racing after 10 years on the beach, suddenly in the middle of a catastrophe. Leif Borgeson fully recovered from that accident. We'll look back through the 5 years on Lake Onondaga if the wind continues to blow here in 1987. In Syracuse, race officials and boat owners now meeting for about the 10th time, trying to decide what to do because of the wind problems. In the meantime, let's go back to 1985. Remember Heat 2A. What a race! What a wonderful race. The Budweiser falling back a little bit, however. There goes the executone telephones and Scotty Pierce. A Merlin engine for the executone against the Griffin engine of the Budweiser. Scott Pierce driving the race of his life right now, and he knows he's going against one of the best in Cropfeld. Scott Pierce, a very, very good limited driver, has done a lot of competitive racing in that level. Has not done that much deck-to-deck racing in the Unlimiteds, however, and it's a different world compared to the Limiteds. But Scott Pierce in first place here in Heat 2A in Syracuse, New York. There's the battle for third and fourth. Third place right now, the American Speedy Printing and Andy Coker against Jerry Hopp and the Oberto. The Budweiser falling back. Looks like Cropfeld's trying to switch lanes. Yeah, he's gone to the outside, trying to pick up on lane number 2. In the meantime, coming around the south turn, you see the lead by executone telephones. Jim Cropfeld trying to get used to that new boat. It's got a lot of dialing in to do yet. They've got to do a lot of things to the sponsons, lighten them up a little bit before it'll be running the kind of speeds they want. And I'm talking about laps of 130, 135, even higher in competition. Executone telephones, first place with Scott Pierce. In second place, still the Budweiser. Keep an eye on Jim Cropfeld getting out into lane number 2. He likes to be on the outside. Can drive well in lane number 1, but it's a little tougher for a driver who is ahead of him to see that boat coming up on the outside. However, a nifty, very healthy lead right now for executone telephones. Keep in mind, too, this is only Heat 2A, the final preliminary heat. Crunch time comes during the final, of course, and that'll be our next race. The Budweiser, as you see the executone crew watching, is beginning to pick up a little bit. Yeah, Cropfeld coming up on Scott Pierce on the outside as they go around another turn. Both boats around 115 miles per hour on this, so this is the fastest heat by far of the day. Scott Pierce not looking back, going down the back chute now, holding on to first place in Heat 2A. American Speedy Printing in third place, going by in the foreground. Here comes Jim Cropfeld in the backstretch. In lane number 2, he's moved slightly ahead of Pierce. I'm really surprised to see this kind of race so early in the day. They want to save those engines. The Budweiser has burned up a couple of engines in testing here in Lake Onondaga in Syracuse, and I know they want to be careful for the final, but right now, nice little battle going between Cropfeld and Scotty Pierce coming down the main chute. They're about to complete lap number 4 of this 5-lap heat. The Budweiser, Jim Cropfeld. Executone crew, they know they've fallen back into second place, but this one isn't over yet. Look look at this. Kropfeld holding on to lane number 2. You can hear the crowd in the background getting to see some wonderful racing as Kropfeld, a 5-time national champion in the limited level, driving the very famous Country Boy limited boat in the 225 cubic inch class. He's in first place now ahead of Scott Pierce. He's still holding in lane number 2, however, so Scott Pierce has the lane if he can get the horsepower and the speed going down the back chutes and catch the Budweiser. There you see the rough line on the part of the Budweiser. Things like that you won't see once it's dialed in a little bit better. Riding a little heavy on the sponsons, as we said earlier. The skid's been digging in. You see the Oberto. It is dead in the water in the south turn. The Budweiser having to go wide. Executive telephone on the inside, and now it's a sprint for the finish line. Executive telephones, lane number 1, the Bud in lane 2. Here comes the finish between Pierce and Kropfeld. It goes to the Budweiser, winner of Heat 2A. But right now on Onondaga Lake, a little choppy is Chip Hanauer and many of the other drivers, Ron Snyder, Jim Kropfeld. What a couple of hams. They're out checking the course right now, and you can't really tell from the camera, but it is extremely rough, especially in the second turn. Jerry Hopp, all of them taking a look at it, and it's simply unraceable. We'll be back in a minute.
Quadruple thumbs.